Hello and welcome to another video on your YouTube channel, Tech Talk with Niket. In this video, we're going to look at the trickiest type of LOD, Include LOD. But before we proceed, a prerequisite. Have you seen the LOD related video on the channel? If not, I would request you to please pause this video and go and watch that video. That video acts as a base for this and other LOD related videos. The link is in the description. Let's get started. The definition of include LOD says it computes an aggregate using the specified dimensions and the view dimensions. That means it will not just use the dimensions which are mentioned within your view, it will also consider whatever you have mentioned in include LOD. Let's see how this works. I'll create a simple text table where I'll take region. Along with that, I'm going to take sales over here, something like this. I'll increase the size so that it's visible in this manner. Now I'll create a include LOD where I will consider customer ID in calculation of sum of sales. I'll name it as include customer ID for sales. I'll put in the keyword include and I'll get it something like this. Like any other LOD, you have to give starting with curly braces. I'll put customer ID colon then sum of sales like this. This is my include LOD where while calculating the aggregation of sum of sales, I'm considering customer ID as well. Now, when I click on apply and click on OK, it is added over here. The moment I drag and drop it over here, it looks perfectly fine. The numbers are same. There is hardly any difference with the sales that is there. I just expand it a little bit so that it becomes readable, something like this. But now over here, the moment I convert this into average, and that's where the whole game changes. And that's where the include LOD comes into picture. I'm going to convert the sum of sales into average, something like this. And I'll convert my sum include LOD by clicking on the downward arrow over here, going to measures and taking it as average. Ideally, these numbers, they should be same because we're taking average of sales for different regions that are there. But you'll find that your include customer ID for sales is different than the average sales that is there. Why is it so? Let's understand it in a deeper manner. I'm going to create the same thing, but breaking it down into pieces so that you can understand it. I'll again use over here region. I'll bring in sales. I'll bring in order count and I'll bring in include customer ID for sales and a simple text table, something like this. Now, to make you understand, let me just increase the font size. Better. Now, if you'll see, you'll find that we have sales and we have customer count all over here. I'm going to do a little shuffle so that you can understand it better. Now that's my sales. I'll convert the sales into average so that I can bring in sum of sales again. So just make it into average and I'll bring in sales again and put it at the top. There we go. I'll get my average sales somewhere over here. And now, one more thing which I would like to do is I'll bring in the customer ID. Not just that, I want to bring in the count of customer ID. Count distinct to be precise, and I'll put it over here. Something like this. Now, we have sum of sales, we have count of orders, we have average sales, we have distinct count of customer ID, and we have the sum of include customer ID for sales. I'll change this a little bit and I'll make it as average. Now, if you'll observe, you'll find that the average sales that you're getting is nothing but the sum of sales divided by the number of rows that are there. Just to do a quick maths, if I take 691828 and if I'll round this number to 3000, the output that I'll get is somewhere around 232, which we're getting over here. And if I'm going to take the same count over here, and if I take this number, which is the average, and if I consider 691 and divide it by 685, rounding it off to say 690, I'll get somewhere around 1000, which is equivalent to this. And that goes for all the include customer ID for sales LOD. So it is considering the customer ID and then calculating the average, whereas the regular average sales is considering the sum of sales and the number of rows that are there. So this is how include LOD can change your calculation or enhance your calculation by bringing in a dimension which is not even in your view. If you'll observe, there is no customer ID in my view. If I go to my include LOD, there is no customer ID over here as well. So that is how your include LOD will work. I hope you have liked this video. Don't forget to share and subscribe. Till the next video, stay safe and happy learning.